owe that man Kirk Cousins a major apology.
Here's the thing.
You know you do too.
Here's the thing.
You made me apologize on national TV.
In the group text, he did. Here it is. In the group text last night, I said Kirk Cousins knows how to lose a game. But the reason I said it...
Why'd you say that?
The reason I said it, because as we all know, Kirk Cousins be throwing these picks, 2-5.
Yes,
he be throwing these picks, Chase Daniel. He be throwing these picks, James Jones. He be throwing these picks, America. Now, I get it.
This is the third time you've said this in our group text.
Here's
You're 2-1 when you say that.
Let me say two things to be true. I will say two truths. The first truth is this, and y'all will be shocked, flabbergasted, and appalled when I say it. Kirk Cousins has 18 interceptions in his career with under 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Right. So, Chase, so shady. When I saw it, I relapsed. I relapsed. Yeah. I thought, oh, my God, not another one. Bro, 12% of his games end in interceptions. 12%. 150 starts, great. 18 interceptions. So with that being said, Chase, I saw a pick. I apologize.
You've done this to this man 3 separate times.
Because he keeps doing it to you.
You know what else he keeps doing? He has 3 game-winning drives this year. You know what else he keeps doing? He has 15 game-winning drives. Game-winning drives since 2021. You know who the second most? Patrick Mahomes. Justin Herbert, that was a little bit surprising to me. He has 11. Derek Carr, your boy, 10. Tom Brady. Dude, the guy knows how to play at the end of games. We can say what we want about primetime games. I know you're going to bring up his playoff record. I got that.
That ain't good.
The dude is good at the end of the game since 2021.
Last night, he was definitely good. Shady, 500 yards is a lot.
It's a lot of yards.
500 yards is a lot.
Okay, Kirk?
I know. I was surprised. But now, look, Kirk Cousins, 500. You already know what type of time he had. We will talk more about Kirk yesterday. But I do want to get to Baker Mayfield. He's a polarizing character. And despite the loss, 3 touchdown passes last night, 0 turnovers. Again, Kirk Cousins worthy of all praise, admiration, 500 yards. I think that's top 25 in the history of the NFL. I think it's top 15. I think it's the 15th highest output ever in history. We witnessed history last night.
It was history.
It was historic. We will talk about it.
You like that?
It's like that.
You like that?
History.
That was wild. Again, it's about to be
changed.
a phenomenal show. Man. Too much fun, too much laughs, too much to get to. Let me ask you 2-5, though, real quick. Baker Mayfield, man, he lost a game.
He didn't play bad.
But he did not. 3 touchdown passes, I think 5 incompletions. Played a solid game. Okay. Do you...
180 yards.
180. Oh.
180.
Man. Hold on,
180 yards.
Hold on, America. That story you told in the post show. I'm not going to tell it for you. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell it, but it was a good show.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's the question?
You know how Baker cost you some coin.
I don't know. It cost me nothing.
Do you still trust Baker Mayfield despite loss?
I still trust Baker Mayfield.
Yes, sir.
I never really did trust Baker.
Oh, okay.
You know what's funny, though? You just had this whole breakdown of Kirk Cousins, right? And you said that, would you say his career was a good career?
Yeah, really,
so really good career, right?
Really good
career. But late in the game, it's like you don't trust him because he throws picks.
Yes, sir.
Why is that? Because he's been throwing picks.
Yes, sir.
So in the past, he's been throwing picks. That's why you don't trust him.
Yeah.
But you think he's a good quarterback. That's Baker Mayfield. Right? Besides, he doesn't have a good career, but he's been better lately.
Yeah.
But I can't get over what he used to be. So I'm like you for real. We like the same. He's Nigerian. I'm just, you know what I mean? He's like, think about it for a second. You think Kirk is a good quarterback, but he hasn't been consistent enough for you to trust him.
True.
I'm going to say with Baker. He hasn't been consistent enough for me to trust him. For what? A couple games? A cool season? A 9-8, barely getting the playoffs? No, I can't do it. So I'll just say this. Baker, right? Keep balling. Keep getting better and better and better. And then eventually, things may change. But to say I trust him now today, I can't say that.
I think the main thing is trust to do what? What am I trusting them to do?
He might
win some games.
Am I trusting him to play well every now and then? Sure, I trust Baker Mayfield to play well every now and then. Do I trust him to win a Super Bowl or get to a divisional round game or NFC championship game? I say he got to a divisional last year. NFC championship, Super Bowl, All-Pro. Do I trust him any of that? No. Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback in this league.
Yes,
and I think we all need to just sit back, relax, and Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback in this league. And it's a lot of good quarterbacks in this league that are not superstar quarterbacks. So I trust Baker Mayfield to run this system and be a good quarterback. Over the last year and a half or so, he's shown, since he's been in Tampa Bay, I'm a good quarterback.
Yeah.
So I cannot look at what he did with the Rams and what he did with Carolina and what he did with Cleveland. Has he been on another team? Or them the ones?
Rams, Panthers, come on, man.
He was in the league for like 7 years, though.
So I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to reminisce on that. But since he's been in Tampa, he's been a consistent, good quarterback. And I think we owe Baker that. So I trust him to be a consistent, good quarterback in Tampa Bay. And he was a consistent, good quarterback last year.
Trust him to be who he is, because he nothing more.
Hey, my mom always taught me if they show you who you are, believe them, sir.
Here's where I'm at now with Baker, because even in that loss, here's where I'm at now. Baker won't be the reason his team loses, like, significantly. That's where I'm at with Baker Mayfield. Early on, again, I've watched all of Baker Mayfield's games in large part because dating back to Oklahoma, first and foremost, he's from Austin. He was in Austin when I was playing in college in Austin. I think he was in high school. I've been watching Baker's whole career. In Cleveland, you're going to lose because of Baker. Let's be honest. Baker would have been a reason you lose. But as of late, this Baker Mayfield is not the reason his team is losing football games. Didn't Baker have 130 passing yards, I believe, through like a quarter and a half?
Yep.
Came out guns blazing. Keep in mind, 3 touchdown passes, only 5 incomplete passes, if I'm not mistaken. That's a college-like performance. When a player has almost as many touchdown passes as incompletions. That's not an NFL-caliber performance. That is a college-like performance. Baker Mayfield with a really good team will give you really good results. I think the Bucs are an okay team. That's why you get okay results. That's why you get a 9-8 record. But if you put Baker Mayfield with a good team, he is no longer going to be pulled by the team. At minimum, he's not going to weigh the team down, and he is going to help the team go along for the ride as far as the team will take him. But that's where I'm at with him now, Chase, is he's proven he ain't holding the team back anymore. He will help elevate, and at a minimum, he will keep the team where they are.
Yeah, I think that's right on. I trust him to elevate his team, and that's what you're called to do as a quarterback. You got to elevate your team, and I would say that the 3 wins this year, and really last game, they should have. Baker was the reason they should have won. I would go as far as the team let Baker down in those 4 games. Okay, they lost Denver. They got beat by Denver. Baker's played amazing. He's got 11 touchdowns. Him and Sam Darnold are tied for the NFL lead in touchdowns. Like, imagine that. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. Look, he's doing exactly what a quarterback's supposed to do. And quite honestly, he's changed my opinion on him. Because other than one good year in Cleveland, right, where he made the playoffs, the next year he hurt his shoulder, then he was shipped off, Panthers, Rams, whatever. The last 2 years with Tampa, they've allowed him to be himself. And it's really shown, like you see Mike Evans, you see Chris Godwin when Baker hurt his knee late in the game. Both those teammates, both those superstar players, they're walking right by their quarterback. Are you okay? Are you dead? That just says a lot to me. Like, the outside influence, the stats were good, 137.5 passer rating, 3 touchdowns. I get it. But the way his teammates rally around him, that's what I like to see. He's really well liked in that locker room.
He's playing at this point more good games than bad games. But Shady, you said something very wise in the pre-show meeting, talking about how once you realize who somebody is, you can now kind of adjust your standard, adjust your temperament, adjust everything for him. Baker Mayfield, obviously, a #1 overall pick. With #1 overall picks comes #1 overall expectations.
No doubt.
The dilemma is oftentimes, as we can see with most #1 overall picks, they never achieve that #1 overall expectation for whatever reason. Maybe it's the franchise they go to. Maybe it's the caliber of talent that they actually have. But outside of a select few, maybe 10, 15% of #1 overall picks, they don't live up to the hype. Have you now just adjusted your expectations?
Yeah, I have, because when you look at Baker Mayfield, right, he's talked about so much, a lot of attention, a lot of hype. And he's #1 pick overall. Like, that's pretty darn good. And he's in the draft class with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Think about that. You were the #1 quarterback drafted, #1 player drafted with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in the same draft class.
That's wild.
Right? But now, in my mind, I can't look at that. I can't look at you being drafted before Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, because now I'm comparing you to him, and there's no comparison. So now I got to compare him to guys like Sam Darnold, right? Kirk Cousins. What else from guys is okay?
Geno Smith.
Oh, he's better than okay. Come on.
Geno's better than him.
Come on, dog.
Geno's better than him. But I give you, yeah.
I'm just saying, Geno started off rocky.
Right. But now when I look, see, I actually think Geno's nice, though. I think Geno's good.
Geno's ball.
He's one of the only players I'm like, yo, can be real weak and garbage and then get really, really good.
He had 7 years off. And now
He's in that break. So now when I look at Baker, it's like I don't even judge him the same way. So when we talk about him, I can't even get upset. Now, a little bit, Chase, you're going to make me upset a little bit because you like to hype him. But overall, I don't even mind Baker, because like last night, like him and Kurt's a good argument, right? I think Kurt's better. But this thing about it is, like, you got outplayed. As much as we talk about how good he played and all this and that and the third, you got outplayed last night by Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. No more, no less.
Come on.
100%.
No, I agree. I think the main thing, and, you know, even watching my dog Shady, what makes his skin boil is when dudes are good, because I don't want to sit here and act like Kirk Cousins or Baker Mayfield's not good quarterbacks. They're good quarterbacks.
Yes, they are.
But I think what makes my dog's skin boil is when we talk about them like they're elite.
Great, yeah.
And then we want to get up here and have topics like they're elite quarterbacks. No, they're good quarterbacks. They just did what they were supposed to do to help their team win a football game. So I think that's what makes my dog's skin boil. But yeah, listen, expectation, right? We used to always have this conversation with Aaron. He used to always get bashed after certain games. And that's why Aaron used to come out and say, my worst season is some of these dudes' best season that y'all praising because the standard.
That's what I'm saying.
The standard's the standard.
Man, say that again. Say that again.
My worst season is some of y'all's best season. And them seasons that's y'all best season, they talking about y'all like y'all all world. Yeah. But it's my worst season and y'all talking about, oh, he lost it. He ain't got this because of the expectations. And I think that's the problem when we talk about some of these good quarterbacks. When we try to put them in this elite quarterback conversation, I think that's what makes my
hold on.
yes,
So my question to you is, how should we view that? Should we say, okay, let's stop talking about these just good quarterbacks so much, right?
Yeah.
Compared to if a really, really good quarterback has a bad year, not as good, then we bashing him. We got to figure out the medium in there, though.
Yeah. Here's my dilemma.
Yeah.
Can I be honest? Here's my dilemma is, if we're all being real, there's only about 4 quarterbacks whose elite talent, maybe 5, also match their results. I believe Josh Allen. I believe Patrick Mahomes. I believe Lamar Jackson. I believe Matthew Stafford. I believe Joe Burrow because he's been to a Super Bowl. Outside of that, you got guys like Justin Herbert who have elite talent, but we haven't seen the result. We got guys like Brock Purdy who don't necessarily have elite talent, but got elite results. So outside of Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen, we don't really have any other elite quarterbacks whose talent matches the results. Everybody else is Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy. It's Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts.
But there's
a bunch of good.
But there's I guess a group of like really good. Like I would put Goff in there.
Yeah.
Who else you just said?
Purdy.
I would put Purdy in there. No, Stafford.
Stafford elite.
Stafford's elite.
Oh, you put him in elite.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm on the third tier, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, with Aaron too though. Yeah. Aaron is.
You think Aaron's still?
Yeah, but I think that the lower crop is you got the not good quarterbacks,
of course,
average, and you got I think you got the
middle
upper
range
level of like the Baker Mayfield,
Kirk
Cousins,
Kurtz.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm okay with this.
And
nowadays.
that's fine with it. Yeah, like I think that, and the more I'm learning about you, Shady, it's like there's these superstar players, and I agree, we got to hold them to the higher standard. We like it is what it is. But I just like a good underdog story. And I think Baker's been an underdog because of the standard that he set when he was the first overall pick. He had high expectations. Maybe not as high as Caleb Williams, but he had high expectations when you're first overall pick. You go to Cleveland, you mess around your first 2 or 3 years, don't play well, then you send them to the playoffs in 2020, you have a great year, and then you sort of fall off, and then you're back again. So, like, I look at Geno Smith. With New York Jets, punched a guy in the locker room, fell off. 8 years off, and then comes back to play really, really well the last 2 or 3
Actually,
years.
not this might be the hating story for Shady. Is he got punched?
Oh, yeah.
I got a question, man, because
sorry.
He didn't punch. He got punched. Yeah.
This all comes down to Super Bowls. Like, you played a game to win Super Bowls. Everybody at the desk, sans me, has a Super Bowl. Shady McCoy got a couple of them. You do this to win Super Bowl. So here's my question. Because the only thing that matters is what I'm about to ask. Can these crop of good, not elite, can they win Super Bowls?
Nope.
Because Mahomes, Stafford, Brady are the last 4. Andy, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's right.
Before that, I believe Mahomes again,
Brady,
then
19.
Brady again, then Foles. Shout out to my dog, my former roommate,
Hey.
Nick Foles. So you got to go back 7 years to find a good quarterback who's won a Super Bowl. Before Foles, you go Brady again. Now we're in 2016. Before Brady, then you go Peyton Manning. Now we're in 2015.
Goff got close against Brady.
He did.
Goff got close.
But close. Purdy got close.
Yeah.
Good
I think
can
it's
get
Goff,
you close.
Goff and Purdy are the two that
So
can.
my question is, can these crop of good win Super Bowls?
Well, you just answered your question.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, yes, sir.
right. Hey, not multiple.
But you just answered your question. This is why when we talk about who's good, who's great, who's regular. Because, like, you just answered your question, though. You went through, the last 8 years?
Yes, sir.
And we have one.
Nick Foles.
But he balled the last 2 games.
Whatever it is. All I'm saying is that the Bakers, the Purdys, we think they may, but they haven't yet. You just named them all. So that's why I don't even argue about them guys, because like they are good, they're cool, right? I think we talk about more of the team than that quarterback.
Yeah.
Where these other guys, we talk about how good the quarterbacks are.
And I think that's the main thing. The good quarterbacks can possibly win a Super Bowl with a dominant team.
Come on.
Purdy had a dominant team. That Philadelphia Eagles team, they was good on defense too. Sacking the quarterback, getting that. They had a dominant team. You know what I'm saying? So a good Baker's team is not dominant. So I don't see Baker Mayfield. Kirk Cousins' team is not dominant. So I don't see them getting to a Super Bowl. But if you're a good quarterback on a dominant team, you have a shot.
Question, because I want to believe what James Jones is saying. But Purdy still lost. Why? Because though his team was dominant, Patrick Mahomes still exists. Yeah. And though Purdy had a 3-point lead, Mahomes still exists. That's not my question. Here's my favorite question I think I maybe have asked on this show. Is it the Super Bowl that makes you elite? Or were you elite, thus you won the Super Bowl? Why am I asking that?
Well, we still
hold on.
Lamar Jackson as elite.
Hold on, people. Matthew Stafford, people were questioning his eliteness. Why? He had no playoff wins. He might have been 0-1 or 0-4 or something like that in the playoffs. And when he was in Detroit, he had a losing record, and not like a close losing record. He was 0-3 in the playoffs in Detroit. His record before getting to the Rams was a losing record by like several games. It was not even like it was close.
It was Detroit.
But now that Stafford won a Super Bowl, he's officially punch ticket.
You're a defender, right? You knew he was nice.
Nice.
He was always nice.
I'm in his draft class, and in high school we played. He was always All-American. He's always nice.
We in the same draft class?
09?
Yeah.
With the Georgia, always was nice. Yep. The league, he was always a talented dude, but he played for Detroit Lions, though. He played in the division. You see Aaron Rodgers twice a year, so we knew what that was about. But soon he left, we all say, the Rams will win the championship. Because they still, they had Ramsey, they had Donald, they had all these other players, Cooper Kupp, but they missed that superstar quarterback, and they got him. And when they got him, they won a championship.
So you're saying Stafford, you believe, was always elite?
Always elite. Yeah.
Well, and then Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have a Super Bowl. He's elite. He's always been elite. The numbers speak to itself. So there are players out there that can be elite.
I think one thing with all these numbers and the team you go to and all that, I think you forget to watch. We've been watching Lamar, Super Bowl or not. We watched Matthew Stafford in Detroit. Like we can watch the tape and say, oh, shoot, these dudes is elite, winning or losing. We can't necessarily say some of that with these good quarterbacks, even if they're. That's why when people say about these quarterbacks that should be elite and all that because they own good teams and all that type of stuff, that makes my skin boil because we're watching. And your team is winning, but that don't necessarily mean you're elite. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when people always come to these stats and teams winning and all that, I'm like, bruh, he's not an elite quarterback. Are we watching the game with our eyes? We know what elite quarterbacks look like, do we not?
If Purdy wins it this year.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm asking it's a question.
But you know the answer.
No, I want to hear James.
Okay, let's hear him say what you're thinking.
Will you consider him elite?
No. If Goff wins it this year, I would not consider him elite. And I love Goff. He's a really good quarterback. I would not put him with the Josh Allens, the Patties, the Lamar.
What in your mind makes you think, is it the film that they are elite if a Super Bowl doesn't?
Because I disagree with you.
Is it film?
James.
I agree. Is it film? Like how can they go to elite?
And that's why
they won a Super Bowl.
That's why I really say it's a few elite quarterbacks in our league, maybe max 4, right? And it might be 3 now because I'm bumping Joe Burrow out. Because elite quarterbacks to me means, like I keep telling y'all, I drop you off anywhere. I drop you off at the Chandler Bears Youth Football League, you win. I drop you off at Chandler High School, you win. I put you at the Carolina Panthers, you win. That's elite to me. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that
nobody's won with the Panthers, bro. Nobody's won with the Panthers.
Purdy, I just want to hear this real quick. If Purdy goes out there with a championship with the Niners.
I'm saying he's elite.
I do too.
But here's why. Because it's not like it's not like Brock Purdy's film looks like Rex Grossman's. Let's not get this twisted. And no shade. Like when you look at Brock Purdy and shade, you know, obviously, you don't play at the highest level with the best of quarterbacks. When you see some of the plays that Purdy makes, he makes elite plays. Now, is he Stafford? No, look, not necessarily.
He's not checking the ball down.
But when you see Purdy scrambling left, backpedaling because the defender leaves coverage, and then he throws it to Juwan Jennings, elite play. When you see Brock Purdy throw that pass he threw last week, dime, elite play.
But what I'm saying, Acho, is we see a lot of good quarterbacks throw dimes. We watched Derek Carr the first 2 games of the season throw dot after dot after dot. So you telling me if Derek Carr wins a Super Bowl with the Saints and that's my brother from another mother, he's elite?
I think Brock Purdy's a much better thrower of the football than
Never.
Here's why.
Crazy.
Hold on, James.
Not ever.
Here is why I would make the statement. Because
go ahead,
if
Acho.
you win the Super Bowl, you must have done something to be elite to do it. Because otherwise, you would not have won the Super Bowl. Because Patrick Mahomes, when he wins Super Bowls, he's making elite plays.
So,
this is such a hypothetical.
Say that again. When you win the Super Bowl, you must have did something
elite to do it. Like for Brock Purdy to have gotten to the Super Bowl
like Joe
last
Flacco.
year, he made
when Joe Flacco did
11 touchdowns, no interceptions.
But was he elite when he did that?
No, his body worked. No, his body worked.
Because Eli did something super special in the Super Bowl. Is he elite?
No, sir.
All right, so stop the knock it off.
He beat Brady.
Knock it off.
You know what I'm saying? Now that's good. And he got 2 of them. And we sitting up here saying he ain't elite.
That's fair.
Knock it off. Put the music on.
Put the music on.
Nonsense.
Oh, we getting it. I told y'all. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.